Today we will discuss filter in AngularJS, and there is one more small filter. Okay, this is the default provided by AngularJS. This deals with actually arrays. So if we pass an array based upon certain criteria, it modifies the array and return as a small one. So let's say there are 4 elements. If you specify any criteria, it can discard 2 elements and only return the two element only for us. So in the view, this filter can use has a lot of uses. So in the ng repeat, we can use this filter in very effective manner. So like last time we seen, we can use user in users. So this will iterate into the users and display the value. And using a pipe symbol, we can use this filter, and we have to pass 2 parameters. The first one is AngularJS expression, and the second parameter we can pass as a comparator, and we will discuss about the individual thing in little bit more detail. So let's start with a simple example with few users like John, Nick, and some Amit. It doesn't matter, anything we can give. Now in the expression, it is of 3 types. The first one is we can give a string, like John, Nick, Amit. We can specify the string, and in the second parameter we can give some object. We can have an array of object. That is more widely used scenario. And also the third, if you need more customized behavior in the filter, so we can also pass a function. That function needs to be defined in a controller, and the name we can pass as a second argument. Okay, now let's discuss about the string. And string will match all the content of the array. So if you give Nick, it will try to find all the array. And also if there is a nested structure, there are a lot of objects and all these things. If you pass a string, so it will try to go any depth and it will try to return you the information for you. Okay, now let's see about the object. Here, when we deal with the object, we can pass the name as John or something, and age is some 22. So it will exactly match it. Age should be 22 and the letter should start with M, or it should have somewhere. Okay, but this has some limitation. Using object, we cannot have a look into the nested structure. If you want to find in a nested, so it won't work out. So it needs to exactly match the name and age property inside an object or inside an array. So for searching anywhere, we can use $sign. Okay, if you want to, if Nick is there in the 3 label children, so we have to pass dollar and Nick. So it will find everywhere. It doesn't matter which property it is. The third category is the function. Okay, it is more customization purpose. So we can pass value index array. So the value is actually the element, the user, John or Nick, and we can apply our own logic and we can return true or false based upon certain condition. We'll see in the more example, it would be more clear. Okay, and now let's have a very basic idea about this comparator. Usually comparator match whether we want a strict matching or we want to just match wherever we like. If you give true, it is a strict match. By default it is false, but if we can change the default behavior to do the strict comparison. Okay, but usually false is the by default, and it would be applicable everywhere. Okay, now let's start with an example. I given the AngularJS as a dependency as usual in the code pane. So let's start with the Angular module, and we have to define a controller, filter demo controller, and I use the controller A syntax. So I will assign this to self and try to add property function to the self. So I define a simple array of user, 3 name I given, And inside the HTML element, I have to refer to the application first. Then I have to give the controller name, ng controller and filter demo controller as something. Okay, so and it will be create an instance with the name filter demo. Now let's create a list and try to put that iterate the users. But this filter demo dot users, we have to use ng repeat here, and we should not give the ng repeat into the UL, because it will create that wherever we take that element will be repeated in the number of times the user is there in the users. So if it is there are 3 users, it will li will be created 3 times. Okay, now let's see that small example displayed below, Andrew and Amit. Now let's create a simple input box. Okay, and I define a ng model with name. I bind to the name variable, and whichever I will give, so it will be stored into the variable. So the reason what I'm trying to do, I want to use the filter and the first category of the filter. The first category is a string. So whichever you enter, I will store in the name, and I will try to pass the filter colon filter demo dot name. So if you see here, if I pass a, then it will only fetch Andrew. If I give complete Andrew, then Andrew will be fetched. Okay, then Louis will be fetched. So this is the string filter. Okay, the first category. Okay, now come up with let's say I'll paste a little bit object like I copied earlier. So we have James Bond 22, Shah Rukh Khan 28. So name and age property I given. So here we can give actor, and the same we bind to the previous. So here also, if you can see, whatever the name we given, it is able to filter based upon that. But let's change as a property. So now I give a name, age is equal to 22. So it's James Bond and Tom Hanks has age 22. So 20 and 28 it will written the Shah Rukh Khan. So that condition needs to be made. And if you want to change name, and we can type, and it will be both the condition will be matched. Now let's see a little bit more advanced example, and I type nested structure. The name is not the standalone object anymore. Inside that we have a first name and last name. Okay, so as if you remember, using name only as Steve, we cannot access that, so it would be a little bit tough to access. So let's start with an example. Let's first display that all the list of entry. Let's get rid of the filter. Okay, so it is the Steve Jobs and all this listing it. I am just not formatted it. Okay, now if I given a name as a filter, it won't able to search that Steve and Bill and Larry. So whatever the name I will type, it won't return, because it can't go into the nested label. But as if I go 62, it will able to, because it is not in the nested structure, it is in the root level only. So to search based upon any name, okay, we can use a dollar symbol. Okay, now in the name, if you whatever will give, it will come. But okay, small mistake. In the dollar, we will give the filter demo dot name. Okay, now it should work. So if whatever we will type here, let's say Steve and Jobs and Bill, so it will filter that from the list, and it will display us. So even the age will give 62, it is displaying. So it will have search everywhere. Now go to the third category. Okay, we see string, we see the object. Now we are going to see a function. So this function will allow to give a much more power. We not yet defined here. So starts with S. Now we have to go to the controller and define this function, and we will associate in the self dot starts with S, and we give a function, and this will take 3 parameters: value, index, and array. The value will contain the object, the object, and index will be 0, 1, 2, and array is the entire object. In this starts with capital S, we try to find in the first name whether the capital S is there or not. Okay, and we are using the negation of -1. -1 means if it is not found. Negation of it means it is found. Then only we are returning true. So here you can see because S is only Steve is only the one array element, which meet the criteria, it is returning, that's why. Thank you very much for watching this video. You can find the notes and the link to code snippet below. Please say hi over an email. I'll definitely reply you if I am not sick or in vacation. You can like and also subscribe to this button. You'll get an update as soon as I post a new video. If you want to help me, please spread this word. Maybe somebody find this video through you. Thanks very much again and have a great day.